Hi everybody to my live video. If this is your first time, thanks for subscribing and for liking. So this is going to be short, and if you need some help, more information, or you might think about becoming a virtual assistant, or you might want to be part of my team in the future. Maybe we can negotiate something. Just let me know, or send me a message, tell me you said about it, and maybe we can work something out. In the meantime, I hope that you can appreciate this video enough to like, share, and let me know in the comments what you think. So how I sold 3 houses and a land in 5 months with no help. So first of all, let me show you the type of house that I'm talking about. So you have Aziz, distress, bank-owned, short sale, auctions such as auction.com, bid for asset. You have tons of auction on county, a tax collector website. Every single county have its own auction. Sometimes it's in-person auction, and most of the time it's online auction. There's place where strictly in-person auction, and there's place where they don't do auction at all, and they just go for tax certificate sale, and sometimes it's the only thing that they do. So you also have eBay, and I believe there's some maybe on Amazon, and there's other place where you can search. You can search in firms, you can just investor, company, law firms, real estate firms. You can also look there as of course, you can look in a foreclosure list, or you can order a list, or you can ask your local real estate agent if he can give you a list of foreclosure or pre-foreclosure home. So that will allow you to see what's coming and what you might be able to afford. And if you can work something with a bank, or if you can work something with a seller on the price, tax lien and backup offer. Something has not been sold during an auction. There's times where you can do a backup offer. You have to make the phone call for that, usually to tax office. And where the auction was held, you can ask if they will accept a backup offer, or you can, if it was a public online auction, just find out who's in charge and ask them if it's even possible. So this is just an idea of where you're gonna go shopping, because before you're gonna sell your own house, I'm in the process of getting my real estate license, but I don't have it yet, so I cannot legally sell for any other person but myself. But it's legal to sell your own house. Right now, before I did any type of training that I am covering right now, which is different, that was prior all the sales and I just did previously. So before that, before I really got invested into real estate education and investment wholesaling education, all of this stuff, I had maybe a year or two of knowledge or three in tax certificate and in a few webinars when I had gone in person in Florida, in Washington State. Very little, maybe 2 or 3 seminars, and I remember going to hotels on real estate. And I did spend a few years obsessing over tax certificate. And so this is the only kind of background that I had. I didn't have background on much else, other places. So then I went ahead and went on to Zillow for the very first time. I was hearing people talking about it a lot. I wasn't very familiar with Zillow. I heard it, but just wasn't a place for me to go to often, since I wasn't really idolized or even thinking it's very possible for me to get a house of my dream. I had dreamed about it, but I will never spend more than maybe a week, a year. I didn't want to get my hopes high, so I usually stay away from it. So I remember seeing things, attaining some things, talking about going after your vision, going after your dream, all this, and start envisioning all this. So I think that's what pushed me to start going into um, just start looking at the house that I might one day have. And I thought, well, it's just like going to a clothing store and maybe thinking that one you can afford it, but you get a look. So I thought, why not? I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna look. I'm just gonna pretend that it's possible. And so I just started looking. And so while I looked, I went on YouTube and started looking at other stuff, and then I started got into some videos about some guy talking about this, and how he was searching for the best deal on Zillow. Nah. So after a few hours of video and learning how to search with less foreclosure, and how to look for specific things, and how to next to look for the most recent house, or the most recent added house, or learn about the MLS, all this stuff. I started to get a little bit more familiar. So I went into a few portals and on the real estate website, selling website, and I looked at their free training. And so I look at the script, and I look at some of the training, and some of the phone script and the text script. And I just wrote down a few things, and I didn't do that much, but just kind of got into it. So and then every day I'll go back and just listen to a new video, and to start selecting, pretending I was going to get those houses. So start selecting one and setting another one, just kind of get the idea, or even just imagine what it would be like for me to become a real estate agent, or even just owning the house of my dreams. So I thought, there's no harm in that. Learning something new, why not? So as I was learning, uh, it really get me like get me really excited. So I kept on going. I came across this online site auction. So I got into learning to bid, which I've done in the past, but I will never actually go through. Just always kind of like get a bid number ID, register, and a lot of time I will never like have a place where you have to pay for a deposit. So we try to register to as many places as I could, like for example for tax certificate. And then I'll come back when it'll be the best time, when they'll have all the sales going, and sales that I could afford, and I thought maybe it was possible to get. And then I'll just kind of think about it, scroll down, just not really doing it, just kind of go back and forth, and just you know find an excuse not to go through anything until before I finally decide to this house to be sold. I I decided to finally go after a stock certificate that I had dreamed of getting for years. So I said, when I get the money, I'm gonna get 6 years worth of everything, and one for every year, and I wanted to get one. So I got about six, or maybe even more. And I said, I'm going to learn everything about it, and I'm just gonna, you know, uh, reap all the benefits from it and do every steps that I'm supposed to do, and I'm going to follow through. So that was my first step, and then I started to get closer and closer to think that it was maybe possible to bid on an auction house too. But I started with a lien because, of course, that's all I could afford. So I started with getting very cheap lien for $650. And oh my God, I was jumping up the roof. I was so excited. I could not believe and actually did it. 100% owned it. I have done that. I've wanted to get that for the last 10, 15 years. And I've got just idealized dreams, just, you know, feeling of thinking, and it's possible for me and I could own a land. And, uh, but I was always getting ripped off, had enough money. So when I made it happen, it was just kind of like getting something uh, off my bucket list. And then came a house. I finally said, hey, if I can do that, maybe I can get a house as well. Maybe I can keep on going. Maybe I can get something really cheap. So I went ahead and I got another really cheap house. And I said, you know what, make this a project for my company. And so my very first idea to get the burnt house, which was half demolished, really burnt. So that's why it was very cheap and affordable and quick process. So I started to picture, and I will, get social engagement, get the cultural engagement department to help me out in the city, and then I would get volunteer and I would do an open house, and that then I would decorate a house, and it would become like some kind of project for locals to go to and paint and make this place like a little art gallery basically. And so that was the first kind of like goal, and I was like, that's it. That was not actually, I didn't think at the time, but then I will ever be able to tell how it was like it was even possible. So it didn't really come to my mind yet. And then time came when it was for me, possible for me to finally get my own. And I had dreamed of this day for a long, long time. I have heard you can't have it. It's too expensive. Your credit's low. Um, uh, you're gonna have to wait 2 more years before your credit's reestablished, and then you might be able to get a loan. Those were the last things that I heard from lenders and banks. Even after I opened a bank account, I had an application, and everything was just stagnant. Nothing was happening for me. Um, so I knew that maybe around my area was where the lowest and the most cheap house I ever seen in my entire life. So I thought this was gonna finally be possible. I even went and met an inspector once, and for a very cheap house, but he needed, in order for me to get, I needed to put like a 6,000 down, and then I had 2 years in material and mechanical and electronical and plumbing work done on the house, which didn't really sound like a great deal. And those houses were in a really good area. So, but it was a way to keep the dream going, the possibility owning a house. So I I said, yeah, I'm gonna try, and so I went ahead and then I got this really cheap house. and it turned out the house was not livable at all. So, so now I was a little bit devastated. So I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I just lost all this money. So the reason why things went really fast is because my first step was not to sell a house for profit at all. Uh, it was simply to get my money back. Didn't matter if I was going to lose in the deal. Didn't matter if it's just all it matters. I was going to get some money back, and I was going to make the right choice, and then take more time and make sure I visit the place and make sure it's livable. I so that's when everything got started for me. Wasn't thinking. I had only one goal, was to get that money back in my bank. And so I took the knowledge that I just got from the scripts, the emails, the how to find prospect buyers, how to talk to them, what to say, how to make a deal appealing, all this. So I went ahead and started to Google map everything, satellite map, GSI, learn about how to get the maximum information on the parcel, on the location, the property, ask the county more information about it, start making ads, start going everywhere and just keep going until I was going to get that one buyer. And and uh, and I was just hoping something would come back from it. I even went to the point to hire I don't know if it was a tarot card reader, something like this, just to give me the something motivation that I needed, and it actually worked. It's something like you're gonna make this phone call and it's gonna happen. And I remember get so energetic that day. I was like, yeah, I gotta do it. I gotta do the art part. I gotta make those phone calls. So I grabbed the phone, and it was really hard for me to grab the phone. Everything was by emails, and I said, and I tried to stay as much as professional as I could, and I actually got the attraction of buyer. And because of that, buyer actually went there, which was out of state, took some video for me and pictures, and then sent it back to me, even though he didn't end up buying the property, which actually helped. And then I kind of had other people helping out this way, and then I just started making everything look even better, and I started making more phone call, leaving voicemail, and I started to sound those text script that I learned about, and I learned to be transparent, and it actually worked. I reached out to the first buyer, and it's funny because the very first buyer I met actually in person. We signed, we did everything at the courthouse together, which was great because it was a great learning experience for me. And he got a great deal because I sold it for less than I paid, and everybody was happy. And he was actually the only person that I actually had that much outreach with. And after that, it's kind of gave me the eye opening on, okay, wait a second, this happened. Maybe I can do that again. But this time I can actually uh, gain something out of it. So next I got something else. And while I was trying to sell the next one, I decided that the burnt house wasn't going to be the best location for an art project. So I got that one sold. And then I went ahead and bought another auction house, and I sold it just like that. Um, Everything by emails, not even a phone call on the second one. I got a bunch of voicemail. I reply everything by email, stuff, pictures, get learn to properly answer every prospect buyers, and uh, and that's it. And got paperwork in order, everything, contract everything, and done. And now I've got tons of new buyers for the latest house that I have in Pennsylvania, and I'm selling for 9,000. And this is almost a closed deal. So that be, if I get that one done this month, that would be 4 house, 1 land in 6 months, which I intend to. So I'm not giving you every single life detail here, but just to tell you that it's totally possible. So, and that's just me buying my own and just making a little bit of profit. But if you do decide to invest in getting your real estate license, like I'm gonna do, and also become a wholesaler investor, you can make so much more money than that. This is just like little bit a chunk of change, but for me, it's a lot of money, and it's my way of getting closer and closer to get the house of my dreams someday. So I hope that you keep on dreaming and get the house you dream also. All right.